Yo, what up? Episode 4. Let's go.
Everywhere, always.
New haircut, new me. That's right. Fresh cut. Man, I didn't realize how much fucking gray hair I got. I look like this damn, like this pop filter, this dead cat. This is what my hair looks like right now. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, man, it's hot as shit in Texas, and I had to get rid of that shit. I started feeling it on the back of my head or like on my neck and shit, and it was just bothering me so much. Couldn't do it, man. Yeah. So, new cut, feeling fresh, feeling good. Shit, we're almost halfway through June already, man. I can't believe how time is flying. My birthday will be next month. The World Cup is happening. The World Cup is crazy. I mean, I like soccer, but I don't know too much about other teams for me to feel like I'm a real soccer fan or that I can provide much insight on players or like who's gonna beat who. I have no idea. But only thing I know is my dad is a Mexico fan, respectively, and you know what I'm saying, like. He's ride or dying for Mexico. So as long as Mexico wins, that's all that really fucking matters. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's cool. Oh, Austin FC. As you know, I'm from Austin, Texas. Austin FC just got a new coach. What's crazy is that they said he ain't starting until next season. So they're letting the assistant coach, who's been the interim, interim. I don't know. I could look it up later. The guy who's been filling in for the coach, he is apparently going to finish out the season. So it's almost like they're like, to hell with 2026 season. We'll figure it out next time. But yeah, man, looks like things are going to be on the up and up when it comes to that. How do you say it? Interim. Sounds like somebody's name. Interim. Interim. Anyways. But yeah, man. Ain't been much going on. I mean, shit, it's been a slow week for me. Not too much going on. My life can get fucking, it can be eventful at one point, and then at another it's just not. Just trying to brave the heat right now. That's all I got for you. But something I was thinking about talking to my lady and stuff like that is, especially in this heat, especially in Texas, like, how are people still homeless, dude? Like, I feel like if I was homeless, I would give up being homeless or try to make it somewhere to like California. I remember the first time I went to California and I went to the famous Venice boardwalk. I had no idea it was going to be the way that it was. Like, seriously. There was a lot of homeless people out there on that beach boardwalk area just frolicking, just loitering, okay? And rightfully so, though. I mean, the weather is perfect. You got the view. You got tourists that you can ask and see a new face damn near every weekend for money and shit. But it was just bizarre to me. I didn't realize that it'd be like that. And just looking at these people on these corners, man, I'm just like, dude, give it up. Give it up, man. Go get a fucking job, okay? You'll at least be in some AC when you're working that job, you know? And the thing that bothers me the most is like when homeless people got dogs, you know, you never see a cat or a fucking anything else out there. They just got dogs, man. And I hate seeing it. You know, I want to free these dogs. I want to be this vigilante who just goes around like whooping homeless people's asses and taking their dogs. And to be honest with you, I was telling my girl this, like, dude, I think that's what police should be doing. Okay? Police are public servants. Look it up. All right? Taxpayers are paying their fucking wage. Are they not? Look it up. And that's what they should be doing out here, man. Like, like damn near make it illegal to be homeless because, I've heard many stories of homeless people just going to jail so they can get fed, right? They get a bed. They get to, enjoy that air conditioning that's in the jailhouse. No. Whoop their fucking ass. Huh? How about it? Whoop their ass. Soon as you see them on the corner, like bring bullying back in the best of ways, especially when it comes to homelessness. Okay? Because really, man, I have to really like think about it, okay? And I can be sympathetic, empathetic, one of those things to people who have, fallen on hard times. They can't get it together. They need help, so on and so forth. The list goes on, right? But like, come on, man. Most of the time when people are homeless, it's like it's a choice. You know what I mean? Just like it's a choice for me and the rest of the human civilization to have jobs. Because if we're all just going to be homeless, dude, who is going to serve you at your favorite drive-thru? Who is going to serve you when you need help at Home Depot? Who is going to serve you when you need a checkup? When you need to take your animal to the vet. Who is going to serve you if everyone's just homeless and ain't nobody working? Okay? Everyone needs to work for this whole thing to work. Okay? Let's just agree on that first off. Okay? And like I said, everybody has hard times. Everybody just wants to give up sometimes. But like people that are homeless, man, I just feel like they completely gave up. And they're continuing and choosing to give up every single day. Okay? And then they're making this choice to not only be homeless, but to stand out on these corners with these dogs, man. Bringing them with them for the struggle, right? Beautiful, graceful animals, man. Just like burning out there in the sun with these motherfuckers. And it just ain't fair to me, man. It ain't fair. It's just kind of like what I was talking about. I don't know what episode. But just like I feel like I'm the one who's playing by the rules all the time. And like, why ain't everybody else playing by the rules? You know what I mean? Like there has to be some type of safeguard against things to where people just got play by the rules, man. That way the whole system works. You know what I mean? Like let's not have a fucking chink in the armor. Let's not have a fucking nail in the tire. Let's like keep this machine well lubricated and keep it moving as a society of people, man. Like everybody got to work, okay? Some people have found cooler jobs than others. Some people have found a way to work from home. They don't even got to fucking leave their home, which is crazy to me because I'm like, I've asked people like, how do you feel about working from home? It's cool, but you never leave home. You're always fucking home, right? And then I don't want to get into that. But either way, people got jobs. We got to have jobs. Got to keep society moving. But like people who are homeless, man, they just opt out. They choose not to. So you know what? Bring bullying back. Whoop their fucking ass. Okay? And I'm talking to the police officers. Whoop their fucking ass. What else are y'all doing, man? Okay? I feel like, and everybody can have their say on this shit too about, police protecting, police are doing this. Most of the time when I see police, they're just riding around. They're on their laptop, you know what I mean, in traffic. I've seen them on their phones. They're just standing and they're doing like this. If they're out of their vehicles, they're standing like this with, with their hands in their fucking vest or whatever. It's like, I don't know why they do that. But they're not doing much, Tell them pick up a broom. Literally sweep some shit up. And on top of everything else, besides, keeping crime away from the rest of us, the taxpayers and shit, whoop these homeless people's ass, man. Get them to go to the woods And if they're not going to go to the woods and stay in the woods, then they need to get a job. Okay? Because, like, normal folks, we can't just be out here, like, avoiding streets because we know there's a plethora, a cornucopia of homeless people over there. You know what I mean? Or we can't go to our local fucking gas station to get a refreshment and pay for it with the money that we made working, right? Because there's homeless people just hanging out in front of the fucking thing. And they ask for money. And what are they normally going to do with it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I did this test to where I gave a homeless person some food versus giving them money. They were way happier when I gave them money. So you just want a handout. You just want, all I'm saying is police need to be out here policing and whooping some fucking ass. Put the UFC gloves on or bare knuckle brawl it out and whoop these homeless people's asses, man. Or put them to work doing the shit you don't want to do. Because them just standing out here, especially when I see them like with the families, yo, when they got like little kids on the corner, that shit pisses me off even more than the dogs. Because there's people out here who I don't know who gave them their fucking licenses to drive and let that be okay. But a lot of people out here cannot drive. They don't know what they're doing. They don't understand the right of way. They don't understand turn signals or street signs or staying in your own lane or not riding somebody's bumper. They don't understand shit. So you telling me somebody couldn't possibly jump over a curb, you know what I mean, and take a whole family out? Come on, man. Shit can happen. Anything can happen. Get your family off the corner. And if you're not going to work, you need to get your ass whooped so you can work. Or you need to go to the woods. Or something else needs to happen, man. But like, that's my proposition for fixing homelessness, because I don't know what happened, especially in Austin. Like, I don't know what happened with the homeless issue that everybody was dealing with, because it was something about like camping or some shit. Let me see. Yeah, homeless camping is strictly banned. Yeah, because I remember they like lifted it. They lifted it at one point, and there was tents everywhere. It was tent city. Now they're banning it. It is illegal to sleep or camp in your ring on public property and city streets. See, I don't mind. That's different. If you're homeless and you got a car and you sleeping in your car, that's different because you got your shit literally together. It's in a vehicle. But I'm talking about people that like are pushing carts, that are wheeling tons of shit down the street and like just hanging out, you know what I mean, in front of stores, on side of the fucking road. And then the ones who got the dogs, like, they're not, man. They're a fucking eyesore. Let me be perfectly blunt. It's an eyesore, man. And it's like, you don't think for a minute that me or anybody else on this fucking planet or in this town or city doesn't want to just say, hey, man, I don't feel like working today. You know what? I don't feel like working for the rest of the year. I don't want to pay bills anymore. I'm going to just go, hang out in front of the local convenience store and, chill with a dog. That sounds pretty chill. But if you're an inconvenience, if you're a burden, if you're an eyesore, you should get your ass whooped, man. You're just in the way. So, like, they got to go to the woods, man, where the wild things are, where Winnie the Pooh is. Fucking send them out into the fucking woods or get their fucking ass whooped, because arresting these people ain't doing nothing. You're just what do you call it? Enabling. You're just enabling, giving them a place to sleep. I don't know. That might have come off too harsh, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think I care too much, man, because then I think like I just said, I feel like sometimes I'm the only one playing by the rules, right? Or like I'm the only person who is like like I don't know, just proud, man. I'm proud to have a job, right? Even though I'd like to do other things or just not do anything and be able to get by. I'm proud to like have a job and be proud of the work that I do at said job and be proud to earn a wage that I can survive off of and feed myself and my loved ones. I'm proud of that, man. I am. And I understand how it's not always easy for everybody else to do so, and that sucks. But I feel like the last thing we need to be doing is giving into like shit like that, right? People who have just completely given up and are just begging for money. But I personally just care too much, man. I can't do that shit. I can't just lay down and call it a life, and just be like, all right, I'm done. I'm done. Somebody give me some money, and then have a dog out there nonetheless, or a family of 5 just chilling in the hot sun, especially in fucking Texas, man. That shit's torture, bro. And I just care too much. And I think everybody else can probably relate and say, you know what? Yeah, I care too much too. I don't want to be out there. I like the air conditioning. I like having running water. I like providing and, being cool. Mostly everybody's doing the same shit probably nowadays, sitting on their couch, watching Netflix or whatever, on their phone, TikTok, Instagram, you know what I'm saying? And like, that's cool because you paid for it and you continue to pay for it, right? So I care too much, man. I care too much about it, and I'm not gonna make to be feel bad about it, okay? And if someone asks me, hey, do you want to give this homeless person some money? I'm gonna say no. I don't wanna. I don't wanna. How about that? I don't wanna. But that's the importance of having a good job, doing a good job, but also working somewhere where you're respected, yo. Like, proper compensation is beyond important. Like, it is of the extreme amount of importance. I've definitely had some jobs. I've worked 2 jobs at one time to where it's like, this ain't enough, so I got to earn a little more. Or I'm trying to get ahead, like who can argue with getting ahead? But it's like, fuck, man. I know it's not the easiest thing in the world to get paid exactly what you think you deserve or what you want, but at least like try to finesse something, try to make it work for you to where you are getting properly compensated. Because we are trading time for money until you make it to a point to where you're no longer doing that. You're trading something you learned, a product or a skill of some sort. You're providing a service to where it's not really you are putting some time in, but you're not like clocking in and out doing 9 to 5. Like, I got to put 8 hours in order to get this much. And then this huge chunk is going to be taken out. You got to work yourself up to that. And I would assume that's what everyone's trying to do. I do understand that there are some people who are okay with clocking in and out, but it's like, if you're going to do that, at least work somewhere to where you can be properly compensated to where you don't need to struggle, because the struggle's for the birds, man. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that shit, dude. Just like with people, I said it before, the people who are talking about like team no sleep, team no days off, like fuck that, bro. I understand like grinding and really trying to get while the getting's good and shit like that, but you need your rest. All right, mentally and physically, you need your rest. You need to rejuvenate. You need to feel refreshed. Vacations are fucking awesome. I ain't been on a vacation in a long ass time. I could use one, but I do understand that like bills got to be paid, and you got to be able to save some money too. Can't just be blowing it on everything. It makes sense to try to put yourself in the best position to where you're not pinching every penny from every paycheck or just living paycheck to paycheck. I understand people got vices. I like to drink a little bit. I used to smoke heavy, the ganja, that sticky icky, but I had to give that up. because it wasn't working for me, man. And I was just doing too much with it. And it was hurting more than it was helping. And then paying for it is like a whole other thing aside from like lack of ambition and, fucking anxiety. Like, oh, I don't miss that at all, man. And it's funny too, because I would have been coming up on a year of not smoking any weed until like, was it last month, Cinco de Mayo actually. I took a hit of some weed, and I was just like, you know what? I don't miss it, because immediately, like my head like felt like I swelled up like a fucking balloon, and like my thoughts started racing, and I was just acting a fool. I just like had Tourette's, just like just saying the most random of shit, and like everything was funny to me. And then once I calmed down, it got to a point where it was like close to bedtime, and I was like, damn, I cannot go to sleep because like I'm like woozy, and I'm like, I didn't have the munchies, but I felt like I could eat something. And then I had the cotton mouth came, and I was just like, I don't miss any of this shit, man. And I don't know. I feel like I started seeing a lot of people who were quitting smoking weed at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. It was interesting because like a lot of people that I follow on Instagram, I saw they were talking about not smoking weed, day whatever of not smoking weed. And I just assumed like, man, maybe everybody feels the same way I do. Like it just ain't working no more. Or it's just not worth what it takes to get it and then to like be in it. Like it's just not worth it anymore. And I could totally understand that. And I can definitely relate to, because there was a point where I was like, damn, I kind of miss smoking. I miss the ritual mostly. The ritual of like, especially when you're done from work, you come home, you got your little setup, and especially if you like roll something, or even if you just put it, in a device, it's just the whole ritual and the time, and you might put something on TV, or you just put on like music, and just get your mood going. And like it was cool, man. Like I'm not gonna knock anybody, because I do miss that part, but I don't miss the consumption of it, how it made me feel over time, the amount of money that I spent. God knows how much money I spent, bro. But I could probably calculate it up to some stupid number that was just, it could have been better spent, or saved, rather. Especially now. It could have been saved. I could have had a big old bag. But it is what it is, man. And there's a time and a place for everything. And I think, that there was definitely a time and a place where I was like, I'll probably smoke until I'm like 80 some years old. But it just hit me last year, like right after my birthday of last year in the fall. I was just like, yeah, man, I think it's time to just look to other things, you know what I mean? And then especially like being able to be in your own skin and your own thoughts and rely on your own natural given energy. It's just different, and it's something to also be proud of too, because then it's like, I'm not relying on anything. I feel like I wasn't making a, like, of course I was making a choice. Nobody was forcing me, but it almost felt like I was on autopilot with it, to where like I'm not really making the choice. This is just routine. You know what I mean? And if I didn't have it, then I'm about to be anxious. I'm about to be cranky. I'm about to not be in a good mood and not be completely myself. So therefore, it was taking a hold of me in a certain way, to where it's like beneficial, not very beneficial, and it just one outweighed the other, and I had to put it down, man. So it is what it is. I get left out of some things sometimes. Some people don't call anymore because of that. But it's whatever, man. Some things you got to be left out. Some things you got to just walk the lonely road for a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I definitely used to think Like especially when it came to shit like sports or or even like cars or smoking or going out clubbing. I'm like, dude, maybe if I was interested in like the things that everybody's interested in, I'd probably like have a larger group of friends, or I'd be invited to more shit or included in more shit. But I'm like, you know what? I can't fake the funk, man, and I can't like continue to do something that is no longer serving me on like in my soul, man, and in my heart, my mind, and everything. I got to be like all the way intertwined with it. Otherwise, it's just not for me. And I'm gonna push that shit away because it's no longer doing what I needed it to do. So yeah, sometimes you just gotta walk the lonely road, man, and be okay with knowing that you're gonna eventually work yourself into new habits and form a new way of thinking and have a different perspective and outlook on life to where it will align you with like the new things that you're going to do in life. Basically like a new life. It'll align you to that. And what comes with that is almost, you shedding your old skin and you're becoming a different version of yourself. And then you end up meeting other people or new people that are just like attracted to that version of you. So everything just becomes new. And I guess that's why they say turn in a new leaf, because you just outgrow your old leaves and you grow some fucking new ones, man. Shout out my plants, yo. They looking great. Feel me? But yeah, man. I guess you gotta just learn to roll with the punches, and you gotta be cool with not being cool with everything, and accept that not everything is meant for you, and you know, fitting in is I don't know. I guess that's for the birds too. It feels nice to be included and wanted to do something, but it's not something I'm willing to like compromise things for. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I think I think it's also important. Like I don't know how many people like genuinely talk to themselves. Like I get you could say like little things here and there, but I like legit talk to myself so much. Like when I be in like a grocery store and I'm like damn near narrating what I'm gonna do. I'm like, all right, I need some bagels, I need some coffee, I need some this, I need some that. Who the fuck is this? I hope this person don't get close to me. And all that bitch in my way. Oh man, how long is this shit gonna take? I literally like be narrating my life, and then sometimes I get caught up in what I'm doing to where I'm like, damn, did that person just hear me? And then I start talking about that. I sound like a fucking crazy person, bro. But I I don't know what that is. I gotta look that shit up. I gotta Google that. Come on, Google. But it's like I don't know, man. I think it's just a comfortability with myself of being able to talk to myself and loving myself and being comfortable with who I am so much to where it's like, yeah, I could take that ride solo. Yeah, I could go eat by myself. Yeah, I could watch that by myself. I can go to the grocery store by myself. I don't have to do everything with somebody, you know? And yeah, just getting rid of that dependency on like always needing to be around people or bounce ideas off people. Like those things are great. Don't get me wrong. It's great to be able to have people or just somebody to conversate with, to vent to do stuff with, and that's what I'm grateful. I got my lady, but we're both of us like our work schedules. She's going to school, and our schedules don't always align. So there are definitely some times to where we're doing stuff by ourselves. You know what I mean? Like one of the things we used to love to do all the time was go to the gym together. And now we hardly go to the gym together at all. And when we do, it's a great thing because we're both there for the same reason. We're both looking out for each other. We're both excited to be there. Well, most of the time. Most of the time, it's a bitch getting in there because it's like, fuck, man. The gym can be the best thing and the worst thing at the same time, especially like with certain people that have been in there. I've already talked about these age limits that need to be on certain gyms. So like, come on with it, man. Somebody please enact these fucking age restrictions. But for the most part, it is an exciting thing to do because you know what you're there to do, right? There to shed some weight, there to, you know what I'm saying, battle some demons. You in there to fucking, yeah, man. So it is good to have somebody to do that with. But like I said, it's not always available. So I think it's important to be able to love yourself enough and be comfortable with yourself to where you can talk to yourself and you can help yourself and you could give yourself some good advice, because most of the time when people ask for advice, I feel like they just want to hear somebody else either say what they were thinking or say the other thing that they don't want to hear, but they're just like, okay, so it is a possibility and I should do that. But most of the time people don't even fucking take your advice. They just do what they're going to do anyways. I've done it before too. So I think it's fine. It's perfectly fine to talk to yourself and to be able to be your own friend, as fucking cliche as that might sound and lame as that might sound. But yeah, see, talking to yourself in your head, also known as an internal monologue or self-talk, is completely fucking normal. It is simply your brain's way of organizing thoughts, simulating scenarios, regulating emotions, and planning. It's a powerful tool for building identity, but the way that you speak to yourself matters. Okay, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Building identity, like you knowing truly who you are, being comfortable with yourself, loving yourself to be like, yeah, this is what we're going to do, and this is what we're not going to do. And you better not do that. You better not do this and fucking ignore that person. And yeah. So, yeah, man, I think it's definitely important. And what is this? Cognitive processing, talking things out in your mind helps you unpack complex problems and make sense of the world. Now, I agree with that one amongst a lot of things. Like it's good for memory and focus, planning and rehearsal, motivation. But that one, the cognitive processing, like I feel like I process things better when I can talk it out with myself and I'm able to like compartmentalize and be like, okay, yeah, we got to do this shit, but let's put that over here for now. What's important right now? What do we need to do today? What do we need to do right now? What do we need to do within the next hour? And that way I am able to like streamline my activity and my process and be able to knock out like any of these distractions that are going to get in my way of this right here. Because you can make a to-do list. That's going to be a big ass to-do list. You know what I mean? Of everything you got to do. And I think that's the easy way to like sabotage yourself. Because then if you don't get the shit done that's all on that list, you could possibly make yourself feel like a failure. You could be like, damn, I didn't get this. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. It's like, make the list smaller. Break it down. Make it easier. Put it in simple terms to where you're not like speaking jargon to yourself, where you're not forcing yourself to like run a marathon all day, like compartmentalize, What does it say? While self-talk is normal, the tone of that internal conversation has a direct impact on your mental health. The emotional center of your brain, the limbic system, often takes the words you use against yourself literally. Constant negative self-talk, rumination, or self-blame can easily fuel feelings of anxiety and depression. You see, that one's easy because then, yeah, if you're talking out a problem and then you keep talking about the problem and then you're not like focusing on the positive and the solutions and the resolution and shit, and you just keep saying, damn, that was bad. Damn, I fucked up. Damn, oh, I should have did this. Oh, that is a very easy way to get yourself fucked up. And I'm not trying to do any of that, and I don't recommend that shit at all. Like I said, for me, self-talking is a good way to compartmentalize, because while it is good to hold yourself accountable and be like, damn, you shouldn't have done that shit, man, or you know, you fell short on these things, and like, all right, it is what it is. It's better to compartmentalize that and be like, this is what you did wrong. Now let's fuck all that. You know what I mean? Like let's work on what we can do now. You know, and that's how I would get myself out of that negative self-talk, because I need to have a solution on the rise. I need to have something that I'm bringing myself to. I need some horizon that I'm running towards, some sunset, to where it's like, okay, we burned the village down, and yes, it was my fault, but we're gonna fix this shit in the end, and we're not gonna keep ruminating about it. All right, we're not gonna keep fucking hashing it out about the shit, because even like this says, practices like cognitive behavioral therapy focus heavily on noticing these negative thought cycles by intentionally shifting your internal dialogue to be more neutral, instructional, compassionate. You can actively boost your confidence and resilience. Resilience, I love that fucking word, because, yeah, man, it's easy to get down on yourself. It's easy to listen to shit talkers that are in your life. It's easy to listen to negative motherfuckers in your life. And they're everywhere. Through any industry, through any part of town, there's always going to be some bullshit, right? And then even like with your family, with your friends, like everyone has their own set of problems. And if you continue to focus on that shit and there's like no self-talk, and I'm not saying don't depend on people, but I'm also saying don't solely depend on people. Like make some room for yourself to be with yourself and to have some self-talk. I feel like that is important, and that's something that I feel like I learned that shit just on my own and out of practice, and just realized what I was doing over time. No one ever told me to do that. I've definitely heard the whole thing of like, don't beat yourself up, or I'm not going to kick you while you're down, shit like that. But no one's ever told me like, yeah, you should talk to yourself, and you should, people have definitely said like, you need to reflect, or how about some reflection? Did you reflect at all today? And I reflect all the time, man. Damn near as soon as I'm by myself, I'm reflecting on what I've done in the past hour, the first half of my day, the whole day. Depends, right? Depends on where I'm at in my day. I'm reflecting and I'm thinking about shit, and I'm planning, and I'm compartmentalizing what's going on with me. Where am I headed to next? Where's the next stop on this journey? And like, I don't know. I don't know if anybody else is doing that, but I'm doing that shit all up and down HEB. So if you see me talking to myself, I'm fine. All right. I'm getting my groceries. Just keep it moving. Yeah. But yeah, man, gotta love yourself. Gotta appreciate the little things too, man. This was something else I was talking about too, or I just had the thought of like, it's gotta be like a love yourself thing, to the point of like self-respect, and not so much as, what is it called, vanity, like being stuck up or anything. And this is the point. I'm saying all this to say, learn to just accept a compliment. Like, I think it's very important that people, men and women alike, can take a compliment, and not like stew about it and think you got to say something back to whoever gave you that compliment, or like lie to yourself. Like the worst thing I think that can be is when you're genuinely complimenting somebody, whether it's on their looks, their brain, something they literally just did and it's impressive. They're like, oh no, that wasn't good. It's like, shut the fuck up. I just gave you a compliment. Just take it. I wouldn't have said this shit if I didn't mean it. And I know a lot of people do just say shit because they want to make somebody feel good. But like, I feel like we would get along better. We'd have better self-talk. We'd like ourselves a little bit more. We'd have more confidence as a society of people if we could just learn to take a compliment and know that you don't always got to pay one back. Someone says, "You look nice today," or fucking I don't know, what you did on the court today was impressive, or fucking that presentation was excellent. Thank you. How hard is it to just say thank you and move the fuck on? You ain't got to sit there and be like, yeah, but was it? Or nah, I didn't think so. The fact that someone's bringing it to your attention that you did something good, or that you look good today, or you smell good, or anything, just fucking take it. Run with it. It's fine. You're not a bad person for just accepting the shit. And you're not a bad person if you don't have anything to say about somebody else. Like I remember my girl was telling me somebody because my lady's very beautiful, and she has like women tell her all the time, especially in her industry, that she's beautiful, and she'll tell me like, "Oh, thanks." She'll just fucking say thanks. But there's sometimes where she told me like, I felt kind of bad, but then there's other times where she's like, I mean, I know. And it's like, yeah, that's good. You should know. If you look beautiful, you know you're beautiful, you believe you are, someone tells you that you are, they just noticed. Okay? So yeah, take it, run with it. If someone says you look like shit, you probably look like shit. Now, I understand there are people who out there just talking shit and don't have nothing better to do, but like, come on, man. You know, like you got to take some good with the bad, okay? Not everybody's lying. Not everybody's out to get you. You can learn to take a compliment, and you can learn to take some constructive criticism. It doesn't have to be the end of the world, and it doesn't have to be the end all be all, you know? But it's just funny to me, man. Like, fuck, like the shit that people will listen to and hold on to versus the stuff that they won't take heed to, whatever. And that's what I was talking about earlier about like advice. Some people just want to hear the things laid out in front of them, but they're not going to take any fucking advice. Same thing with other people. They love to be complimented, but when they're complimented, they can't take it. So damn, we're so complex as human beings, man. But it's, you know, we got to do something. We got to get it together. We got to figure out how to get these homeless people in the woods. We got to figure out how. We got to figure out something. Okay, we really do. There's got to be more togetherness in this society. We got to figure it out. We got to get these dogs off the street. Okay. Everyone needs a dog. I've never been a cat person in my life. I don't see it happening in the foreseeable future. And we got to rescue these fucking dogs from these homeless people. And you know what else is crazy? It's the last thing I think I want to touch on. When I'm at the grocery store, there's been this phenomenon going on where like if I buy something, right? If I buy something, okay, and I've been consuming it for weeks. I go to the store that next week and there's like, it's gone. It's all fucking gone. I can't help but feel like that is some like Truman Show shit to where everyone's just watching me and being like, oh, you see, he picked out that popcorn this time. Let's make sure we fucking sell out of that. So he goes nuts, or he just can't have it. And then he fucking moves on to something else and doesn't like it and wastes his money and time. And then we'll restock it when he's not paying attention and he won't even fucking realize it because it's been so long. I swear to you, it's happened with at least a dozen things. Okay? And I don't know what's going on. I understand I'm not the center of the universe, but I'm the center of my universe, okay? And I don't know who the fuck is watching me enough to be like, he's eating that, and he's been eating that. Let's all buy it up. Everyone come to the store and buy it, all of it, right now. You know, I come home and I tell my lady like, you won't fucking believe what is missing from the shelves this week? Somebody's watching. I mean, you're watching. And you better not go get what the fuck I'm going to go get later. But I'm telling you, it's happening. And it's real. And I can't believe it. But I can, because it's too crazy. It's stranger than anyone could make up. So, protect your groceries, man. Yeah, get these homeless people in the woods, man. Listen, a lot of things are changing, right? You've seen me in the chair. You've seen me in this. You've seen this on the shirt. You've seen it in my hand. I'm figuring it out as we go, okay? But the plants are still here, okay? Because that's gotta represent growth, okay? We're gonna keep growing, okay? Keep growing, keep showing up. The fuck, I'm not gonna do it, but yeah, man. Is this episode 4? Or is this episode 3? 3 or 4? Fuck, man. I can't remember. Let's look. I gotta look. This is bad. I know I said it earlier at the beginning of the fucking thing, but I gotta make sure. Okay. Episode 4. So we're gonna keep it going, man. You know what I'm saying? Just keep rolling. If you're out there, you watching, you listening, take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and keep doing your thing. Don't let nobody stop you. Till next time, everywhere, always.